Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having a great weekend. If not a great weekend, then at least a good weekend. You did not get video from me yesterday. Here's the reason why. I just wasn't in the mood to make one. It's no like secret that I've been having some problems with my knees, and that has been kind of seeping upward from my knees to my head. I wasn't in the greatest of headspaces yesterday as far as this knee goes. So I was like, well, I will make it. But then as the day went on, I was like, I'm just not feeling like making this. Plus, it was an Alabama game last night, and it was for the SEC championship. It was against the #1 ranked team at the time, Georgia. And I was really into it. I got very much into it. So, roll tide. So, I was just, by the time the game ended, and it ended like 7:30, I think, or a little bit before that. And I thought, by the time I get this made and up, it's going to be too late. So I didn't do it. I thought, let's come back tomorrow and no matter what is going on in my knees, we're going to get this done. So what I'm going to get done today is we're going to talk about, finally, the last episode of Bachelor in Paradise. This one was scorched earth. I mean, we saw 2 couples break up, and we saw multiple people leave. So let's get right to it. The first couple on the chopping block was Blake and Jess. So Blake pulls Jess aside, tells her, hey, listen, I don't feel like we're on the path to love. He says that he had much less time spent with Katie, but he had got there with her. And by contrast, he's had a lot of time with Jess, and he said that he doesn't know if they're going to get there. He likes her a lot. He cares about her, but he wonders if they're just like waiting for this to end. A little bit later on, she says, well, maybe it was good that Katie came and brought this to light. And he says, this really doesn't have anything to do with Katie. I think it did. I think Katie coming in maybe pushed this thinking up to the forefront of his mind. I think it was something that, exacerbated that pushed it up there for him. It made him kind of think about this. Jess agreed with him, and off camera, she was like, or on camera, she said, she thought that by now I would have found I don't know if she said on or off camera. Either way, she had said that by now she would thought that she would be in love. She would have found her person. But she really doesn't know how to end things. And she had said, and this was off camera, that she wanted to keep trying, but she didn't know that they would ever get there. So Blake leaves, and Jess is blaming herself because she said he was all in on this, but she just couldn't get there. So Blake is leaving, and I'm wondering, why the fuck is Kylie running after him in this dramatic fashion, or running after him and begging him to stay? I can't do this without you here. I don't know what I'm going to do. There has to be some other reason for you to stay here. Please stay, don't go. I didn't know that they were that close. I mean, maybe there is some unaired footage laying on the cutting room floor of them, but I thought it was odd that she ran after him. Like I said, maybe they had a close relationship. I don't know, as friends. Who knows? I thought it was odd. And I thought it was interesting, though, because Blake had said to Kylie, regardless of how I feel, she doesn't feel it. So he felt it, but he felt, I'm thinking that he felt that they could get there, but maybe he thought she didn't think it. And I kind of thought that too whenever they were saying their goodbyes, and he looked like he wanted to cry. Now, I don't know if that was because he was like, if he really did really care for her and really liked her and thought that they could push through and they could make it to love, to that ending, or if he was just crying, if he was getting choked up because this is his fourth time trying at love. I think this should be his last time. If you go on these shows so often and you don't find love, maybe try it the traditional way, not on TV. And I'm going to say that for Jess too. I think Jess should just do it the traditional way. I think she's too sensitive to be on these kind of shows. That's what I'm thinking. So next up on the chopping block was Mercedes and Tyler. So they started this off with a flashback to Tyler's date card. When Tyler got the date card, he asked Mercedes on the date. And he said, there's a spark. This conversation right here is brought to you by the word spark. Thank you, Spark. So they talk. Mercedes says, listen, there's not a lot of depth to us. She says, I don't feel wanted. I don't feel pursued. And she also says that he has mentioned several times that, listen, a long distance relationship is off the table. He doesn't want a long distance relationship. Because remember, he had said, well, a long distance relationship, if it works, okay. If it doesn't, oh well. That right there, it put in her mind that she was like, oh well. I mean, if you were really in it for a relationship, then you would be like, I will work at it. That's what I would think. And she says that she's there for a relationship. She's there to get to the next step and to have a lasting relationship. And seems like he's just there for fun and just maybe like a vacation. And this was maddening because as much as I think girls like Mercedes, women like Mercedes and Kylie and Kat are mean girls, I don't think this should happen to them at all. I don't know if it was karma, but I thought it was kind of shitty. He said that he's been searching for a spark, but he hasn't found it yet. Last rose that he gave to her, it was given to see if there's a spark, but there's none. So the first thing that popped into my mind was, why the fuck did you wait? There's going to be cussing in this. Why the F did you wait so long to tell her this? And you didn't even go to her and tell her. She came to you and said it. That's the only reason. If she wouldn't have said it to him, he wouldn't have said it to her. I'm convinced by that. I'm convinced that he was just there for a fun vacation. That's it. On ABC's dime. No one can convince me otherwise. She says that she feels used. And listen, I can't blame her. He should have told her sooner so that she would have a chance to go out and find love. And that's what she said. She says, I feel cheated because I was spending all this time on Tyler. He wasn't feeling a spark. Had I known that, I could have pursued another connection. Listen, I'm going to tell you, you know who would not have done that to you, Mercedes? That is Will. She said, she started off this scene by saying that she went for Will and there just wasn't that big spark. But I'm going to tell you, Will would never have done this to you. Never. So maybe this is karma. Karma on Will's behalf. And Tyler leaves. Listen, here's another thing. This right here, this should be the last time that we see Tyler on Bachelor in Paradise. This should be it. Because this is now his third time. It's his third time. In my mind, 3 strikes and you're out of any Bachelor Nation programming. Regardless of how good you look, without your shirt on. Because listen, Blake, Blake Moynes. At first, when Blake Moynes came on the show, I was like, Blake again? The fuck with this Blake? Come on. And then he took his shirt off, and I was like, oh, shit. And the further into the season that it got, he got even better looking. And Tyler, listen, the upper body, he wasn't bad looking. But listen, this is it. This should be the end for him. He should not be on again. I'm sorry if you want to see him on there. I think he should be done. Okay, next, let's get to some real nice talk, because honestly, I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite, this makes me so happy to say this. So happy to say this, because this woman had for me a beautiful redemption arc, Olivia. At first, when Olivia was with Will, and she was with the toe sucking. Listen, I hate feet. I don't know if anybody knows. I hate feet. I hate anybody's feet. I don't like my feet. I don't like anybody's feet. So when she was about the toe sucking, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna like this girl. She completely turned it around. I love Olivia, and I love the fact that after she got her heart broken, oh my gosh, in such a dramatic, terrible fashion, and on TV, that she found Michael, and that Michael picked her. I was the best. Thank you, baby Jesus Brand. Please, thank you, little baby Jesus, and thank you, thank you, Braden, for giving her that rose. Because if he didn't give her that rose, he would not have met Michael, and there would not be the most adorable couple in paradise. I swear to God, I just love it. He said he thought and he thinks about her, and he puts in the effort. Oh, I just love them. He set up a little basketball hoop. Oh, I love. He listens to her. Obviously, he puts in the effort. I love it. I love them together. They are my favorite. They are my favorite couple on the beach. Period. Hands down. Listen. It's not the most popular opinion, because I'm sure everybody else's favorite is like Eliza and Aaron or Kylie and Avon. But for me, honestly, both of them are just genuine, sweet, kind individuals, and I love them together. They're never going to see this, but listen, I hope you guys go the distance. I love them. Next was Jordan and Rachel. So here, this was terrible to watch. I told you going into the season, I was like, Rachel again, come on. Rachel grew on me. So Jordan and Rachel, they were talking about the one-on-one date that Jordan picked her for. He said he had a lot of fun on their date. She is very, very into him. She said she is definitely not giving Tanner the rose, and she's giving it to Tyler, to Jordan. I'm sorry, to Jordan. She's all in on him, all in. But wait a minute, is Jordan feeling the same? Because Jordan's not feeling the same. He talks to some of his friends there, and they say, "How are you feeling about Rachel?" He says, "Because Rachel's talking about you. Rachel is really digging on you." And he says, "We had a lot of fun, but I don't know if we can get to Romantical Village. Like, are we just friends? I don't know if I can get to Romance Town with her." But you know what? He didn't tell her that. When they were talking, he didn't tell her that. He says he's more into Mercedes. Okay, cue, you know what's going to happen next. Mercedes and Jordan talk. He completely, immediately sucks up to her. What happened? What happened with Tyler? He said there wasn't a spark. There wasn't a spark. Why didn't he tell you sooner? What, girl? Why didn't he tell you sooner? You're a good person and you're kind. I am very interested in you. So that's the phase. So he tells her once again, he's very interested in her. Listen, if he was interested, because if he was interested in Mercedes, then why didn't, when he got the date card, why didn't he pick Mercedes? My thinking is that the producers were putting in his ear, listen, you're going to pick Rachel because Bachelor Nation fans, they are clamoring for this Jordan Rachel reunion. I mean, their chance at love was cut short once. And if you go on socials, like I will go on Twitter and I'll see what people were like, you know, just for a laugh and see what people were thinking. Think if anybody's thinking the same way I am. And I'm gonna tell you, everybody on socials was like, oh my gosh, Jordan's back. I love them together. This is what I've wanted. Merry Christmas to me. Oh my God. Who's to say that producers, producers are looking at all this stuff. Who's to say they didn't get in his ear and be like, listen, you're going to pick Rachel. America wants you with Rachel. This is what you're going to do. I think that's what it is. If no, you could say I'm wrong. I don't think I am. So after this, Mercedes says, oh, thank you for talking to me. But Mercedes is confused. She's like, do I give someone the rose or do I just go home? Now, I'm going to tell you, you have 1 week left. To be honest with you, at this point, if that was me, I probably would have gone home because you have 1 week left. How do you know if you're going to find, I don't know that you could find the love of your life in a week. I mean, it's happened, but I don't know. So we'll see. So the guys on the chopping block, the guys that are like in like DEFCON 5 relationship mode, like I gotta get somebody. It's Jordan, Tanner, Taylor. Taylor has no chance whatsoever, and Braden. So, and who is the lady of the spotlight? Well, the most popular girl on the beach is about to be Jess. Luckily for the men, she is up for exploring. And remember, at first, the two men that she said, if she wasn't with Blake, that she would be interested in exploring were Tyler, he's gone, and Tanner. So first up is Braden. Braden pulls her aside and says, I want to give you something. I know you said that all you want is a box of chocolates. So he brought her a box of chocolates because he knows that she wants a man who listens to her and puts in the effort. So he says, I'm putting in the effort. I thought that was sweet. I thought that was a very sweet gesture. She was then talking to Taylor. They were talking about their dogs. And here comes Tanner. Tanner interrupted and Taylor did not look happy. But what are you going to do? I don't know that anybody's turning in to see Taylor. I could be wrong, but I don't even know that many people remember Taylor because Taylor was like, if I remember correctly, he was on charity season and he was just like way in the background. Was it charities or was it, see what I mean? I can't even remember. He was a background person. He was like gone the first night, I believe. So Tanner starts talking to Jess. Tanner had said before that he was always attracted to Jess. So they talk about basically about both of their relationships, ending and the issues that go with that. He says he's always going to be there for her. And another thing he said he now realizes that the last rose that was given, he probably maybe should not have given to Rachel because he now sees that it can only be a friendship with Rachel. Listen, Tanner, I love you. He's never going to see this. Tanner, I love you. But that I didn't like that. And the reason why I didn't like that, and this is kind of like punching me in the face of desperation is because remember when Jordan came in and had the one-on-one date with Rachel, and then they come back from it, and she didn't know what she was going to do. She talked to Tanner. Things didn't look that great. Tanner talked to her again, and then really put the push on for her rose and said about how all he wants is to meet someone that's going to be his wife, that's going to be his soulmate. That's all he wants. And I can see that with you. And I really want us to work towards getting there. I mean, he pushed hard, and she gave him the rose. He gave her like a hope for the future. And the reason I was terrible, because she had been screwed over quite a bit in this whole season. I mean, first was Sean, and then Brayden, and now Tanner. I never would have thought that Tanner would have been that person to do that, but I absolutely hated that, and I just felt bad for Rachel. So Tanner had said to Jess that he likes her because she was so into Blake and she stuck by him, and it shows that she's loyal, and that's a very sexy quality. And they say they both want to get to know each other. This does not come as a surprise to me, because once again, she said in the beginning that he was one of the two guys that if she wasn't with Blake, that she would want to be with Tanner. She would want to explore with Tanner. So here comes the rose ceremony. Now, typically I will have the whiteboard. I don't have the whiteboard because as I had stated before, I'm not that put together today. So there we go. So I don't have the whiteboard. I'm sorry, Seymour. It will be back next week. So the rose ceremony. We're starting off with the stronger couples first. First, it was Eliza and Aaron. I can see these two getting engaged. Kat and John Henry. So she says something interesting. She says, I finally feel like I'm getting parts of my soul back. Ooh. At which point I thought in my head, you had one. Oh, for you to get parts of your soul back, you have to have one. I really doubt that she had one. I never knew she had one. Next was Kylie and Avon. It looks like next week, Kylie and Avon are maybe having some troubles. And they show what looks like Avon walking up the steps, like when you walk up the steps to leave. This could just be editing, but they have some troubles this next week, as do Kat and John Henry. John Henry is saying next week, which is the finale for this season, that he wants to be engaged, but his heart is saying, bitch, please not with this one. So listen to your heart, John Henry. Please listen to your heart and run. Next was, my favorite, Olivia and Michael. My absolute favorite couple this year, this season, hands down. Next was Sam and Peter. And I'm going to tell you, they are an underrated, low-key, very strong couple. You don't see a lot of them interacting on screen. However, the last time when they had that double date with Kylie and Avon, I really liked them together. I could potentially see them in real life. They're a very strong, underrated couple. I like them quite a bit. And who is Jess gonna pick? Well, not surprising, Jess picked Tanner. But before Tanner could come forward, Taylor walked forward. She was like, oh no, not you. And then he stepped back. Jesse was standing right there. And if anybody remembers when Jesse was the Bachelor, remember he called the wrong woman's name. I cannot even remember the name he called, but he was thinking of the person that he wanted, and he said a different name. So they let the woman stay that he called, And then he called the woman that he really wanted to give the rose to. I'm wondering if that had like kind of seeped into his brain. I thought it was funny. And lastly, not lastly, but next was Mercedes. We all knew Mercedes was not going to leave. Mercedes asked Jordan. Jordan said, of course. Now, at this point, they panned over to Rachel. At this point, Rachel had to have thought, what the hell am I going to do? This is a pickle because do you pick the guy that you don't know, which is Taylor? Or do you pick the guy who just screwed you over? And that's Brayden. She walked away and she had said to Jesse, she said, I had said at one point, I had said coming before I got here, that if I ever got to a point where it just wasn't going to work out and I don't see myself finding what I came here for, then I'm going to leave. And she left. That to me, I have respect for that because it's showing that she's not just there for a good time. She's dated like everybody on the beach. There's nobody else left. And I mean, she could have given it to Taylor, but I mean, they've never shown any interaction between the two of them. So I felt terrible for her, but I think it was the right choice. And to be honest with you, I respect that her choice and her decision more than I respect Mercedes' decision. I mean, maybe she can find love with Jordan, but I don't know. It didn't, to me, she should have just left. I think she should have done the same thing that Rachel did. I give props and I give credit to Rachel. But once again, this is now her third time on a Bachelor Nation show. This should be her last time. If you don't find your true love within 3 tries, then that should just be it. Maybe this is not the forum for you to find it. So the 2 guys that were out were Taylor and Brayden. Brayden said that getting into the van and leaving, he said he feels deflated. And he knows that he was wrong for going on the date with Becca and picking that over the good thing that he had with a good woman, which was Rachel. He says that he feels terrible for what he did. And he says he's got to do better and he's going to do better. Listen, I didn't come into this season thinking I would like Brayden. And I don't think he had a complete 100% redemption arc because of what he did to Rachel. But he sees that what he did was wrong. And he brought himself, he earned a little bit back when he gave the rose to Olivia to give her a chance to find love, which I hope to God she does. So that's that. Okay, I'm gonna say, Brayden, if you want to come on once more, that's cool, because he doesn't look bad without a shirt on. And by the end of this, I wasn't completely hating him like I was for charity season. So that's that. Next week, they're saying somebody is getting engaged and somebody is getting married. I'm putting my money on either Sam and Peter or Eliza and Aaron. I'm thinking it's Sam and Peter. So there we go. In the comments, if you watched, in the comments, please let me know what you thought. And with that being said, I'm going to film another one today. So I'm going to try and get another video up. But if I don't, which I should, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. Please take care of one another. And 2 things. no matter where you're at. Number one, be aware of your surroundings. And number two, please take care of yourself, because this is a highly unstable world. You never, ever know what's going to happen. So like I said, please be aware of your surroundings. Please stay safe. And I love you guys. And I will see you a little bit later on today. Now tomorrow, I don't know what you'll be seeing, but maybe you'll see a video, maybe you won't, but you probably will see another one from me today. So I love you guys. I will see you later. Bye guys.